This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Monday, April 7th. Sunny and warmer today with a high of 67. Clear skies this evening with a low of 46. Here are today's headlines. From North Texas to New York, economists are predicting doom and gloom after the far-reaching Liberation Day tariffs announced by President Donald Trump triggered steep declines in global markets. Friday's session capped the stock market's worst stretch since the COVID-19 crisis that began in 2020. The S&P 500 is down more than 10% since trading opened Thursday, while the Nasdaq Composite closed in bear market territory, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average flirted with correction. As China moved swiftly to implement retaliatory tariffs of its own, an encouraging U.S. payrolls report was not enough to stem a rout that saw trillions in market capitalization vanish and stoked fears of a global downturn. In a grim research note entitled, "There Will Be Blood," J.P. Morgan Chase became the first Wall Street bank to declare a recession was the most likely outcome. Chief economist Bruce Kasman upped his estimate to 60% from his previous guess of 40%. The tariff policy is part of Trump's plan to bolster domestic manufacturing and to counter what he views as unfair practices that inflate foreign trade surpluses at the expense of U.S. workers. In other news, a second unvaccinated child has died from measles complications in the West Texas outbreak. That was confirmed by Lubbock hospital officials. The outbreak, which began in January, has resulted in nearly 500 confirmed cases across the state, primarily in the South Plains and Panhandle regions. That's according to the Texas Department of State Health Services. Of those people, 98% have been unvaccinated. The school-aged child was hospitalized in the University Medical System in Lubbock and received treatment for complications from measles. A spokesperson for the health system said the child was unvaccinated and had no underlying health conditions. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. visited Texas Sunday to spend time with the families of the children who have died from measles. According to a post on his social media account, U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. visited Texas Sunday to spend time with the families of the children who have died from measles. He identified the two children as 6- and 8-year-old girls. Next up, Coppell ISD officials want Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's lawsuit against the district thrown out, saying it is political fodder against public schools based on a manipulated hidden video recording. Officials allege in their counterclaim filed Tuesday that efforts to discredit Coppell and other public schools educators are being made to influence debates over school choice. Why? According to the filing, it is to provide the Attorney General with political fodder against public school districts, such as CISD, during the current debate and upcoming votes in the Texas legislature about private school vouchers and public school funding. In March, Paxton accused Coppell school officials of breaking state law by teaching students critical race theory and pushing quote-unquote woke ideology. And aside from a few pesky injuries so far, it's hard to imagine the Texas Rangers could have asked for a better start to the season. On Sunday, with the game tied at 3 in the bottom of the ninth, Josh Smith hustled his way to a 2-out double, and Jonah Heim stepped up to the plate. Facing an 0-1 count, the Rangers catcher sent an 89-mile-per-hour cutter back up the middle, scoring Smith and securing the Rangers' 8th win of the season in walk-off fashion, completing a 3-game sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rangers hit the road for a week with series in Chicago and Seattle before returning home on the 15th. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.